Hello everyone, my name is Gisette. I am a second year PhD student in the Department of Informatics at the University of California, Irvine. And so today I will be discussing how to Zoom like a pro from the perspective of the participant. So let's get started. Okay, so how do you join Zoom? So over here on the right hand of the screen is something you will most likely see when you are being asked to join a Zoom. So this little square over here. When you see this, there's so many sections to it. I'm like, what am I actually doing? So there's actually 3 ways you can join Zoom. The first is by the Zoom link. With the Zoom link, all you have to do is click the link and you should be, if you're on the computer, all you have to do is click the link and it'll take you directly to the Zoom call. If you're on an app, you may have to if you're on a tablet or a phone, you may have to actually download the Zoom application before this link can work automatically. The second one is using the Zoom application. So if you have Zoom downloaded on your computer as a specific application where you just open it up, you can usually just type in the membership ID, which is seen right here, this 857. This is the actual information for this specific meeting, and sometimes there's a password. So when they ask you for a password, it's always going to be right under this membership ID. So if you don't ever see a password, that's totally fine. That just means that the Zoom call that you're going on does not have a password for you to get in. Sorry. And then calling. So if you are just wanting to hear people's voices and talk to other people, you can really just call in using your phone. And sometimes that can be easier than just going online and having to go through figuring out when to turn on the audio, when to turn on the video, and things like that. So calling in is one of the options I give a lot of people. But also just to note that if you are asked to be in a video with your video on, you don't want to use this feature. So, and when I say calling in, you're just it's like you're calling someone like one of your friends or something, right? And once you call one of these numbers based off of where you live, the automated system will ask you for a meeting ID, and you'll enter the meeting ID followed by a password, or it may take you automatically into the meeting. Okay, so waiting to join a meeting. I think this is one thing that kind of caught me off guard when I started using Zoom, was there are 2 different screens that you may see when you're joining a meeting. Technically it's 3. The third is just you automatically going into the meeting. But please wait for your host to start this meeting. This basically means that the person who is hosting the meeting is not actually logged in yet. And so all you have to do is just wait for this screen to go away, and it'll automatically set you up for, take you into the meeting. But if you are the host, it will prompt you to sign in. If you're not the host, or if you don't know if you're the host or not, just opt for not being the host. I hope that makes sense. And then please wait for your host to start the meeting. So this specific screen is basically telling you that you're in a waiting room. Zoom has a waiting room where everyone basically sits sits until it's time for the meeting to actually start. So yeah. Okay, so audio. Audio is basically, can people hear you, and can you hear other people? So one thing, I need to stop using this pointer. Sorry, y'all. One thing is the microphone. There's a microphone either at the bottom left corner of your screen or the top left corner of your screen. And so that's basically how you would, that specific icon will help you navigate, turn your audio on and off. But also the host can also turn your audio on and off as well. So I'll get into a little specific, a little more. Sorry. So can people hear you? This is a GIF that basically shows how someone can mute and unmute themselves just by clicking the button. So that's what the button looks like. So audio off, mute. When you're muted, it's gonna say unmute, but there's going to be a cross, a red cross, saying that basically saying that the microphone is off. Times when you would want to turn your audio off is when you're not the common speaker, when you're not speaking at the moment, and also in a noisy environment. If you're in a noisy environment or someone else is speaking to you. Yeah. And when should you turn the audio on? So audio on, also known as unmute, on this screen, you'll see a microphone without a cross through it, but it'll say mute. So think of the words as just telling you that this is what will happen if you click me, right? And the icon is what I am actually, is my current actions. So when you want your audio on is basically when someone is talking to you, when you're talking amongst the group, but most times if you're not the common speaker, just opt for turning your audio off. So there's a lot of times where someone can say something and you can see their lips move, but you're not sure if it's you or it's them. So I would say always ask them, are you muted, right? This prompts them to look at their bottom left corner, either top or bottom, to see if they're muted or not. If they are not muted, then that may mean that it's an issue on your end. So one thing to try out is to turn up your volume on the device that you're using, to see if if when they talk you can hear them again. And then another way is to check if the computer speaker and the headphone is selected correctly. And this is how we can do that. Okay, so which speaker are you using? So when you go down to the bottom left, I'm on the computer, so I'm going to constantly keep saying bottom left corner of your screen for the microphone icon. There is a tiny, they call it a caret or arrow facing up that you can click that will give you more questions. So one thing you can do is make sure you have the correct microphone. So if you don't have any headphones, then you most likely would want your microphone to be built into the computer, so internal. So go ahead and click that. If you do not see anything else there, then just assume that you're correct and the default option is always the built-in microphone. That's the base case. But if you have headphones and you know the name of your headphones, like if it's AirPods, then you would want to click AirPods so that you can be talking into your AirPods and not into the actual device that you're using. Hope that's helpful. And then this also works for speaker, so that you're hearing from your headphones and not speaking and not hearing from the actual device. So like if you're in a private room and you don't want anyone else to hear what's happening or what's going on in the Zoom call, you can change your speakers to your headphones if you have any, if you have headphones. So yes. If you're joining through audio, you can mute yourself or / turn off your audio by clicking *6. And then video. Can people see you? Can you see other people? Do you want people to see you? So can you all find the camera in the bottom left corner of your screen? Hint, it's by the microphone. So we'll now talk about this. So can people see you? So camera off, similar to how the functions of the mute and unmute button. When your camera is off, there's gonna be it's a camcorder icon, and it's gonna be a slash through it, right? A red slash through it to say that my camera is off. But at the bottom, under the words underneath, is going to say start video instead. So when would you want to keep your camera off? If you don't want people to see you, if you're not ready for the day, maybe it's an early morning call and you're just like, I just want to hear people and talk to people right now. I'm not ready to be seen. Or if you're moving around a lot. So moving around a lot is can be sometimes a very huge issue because it can distract a lot of people. So if you have your video on plus your audio on and you're moving around, a lot of people can hear that feedback as well. So that's something that you wanna be cautious of. So, and video on, start, similar to the mute button. You want unmute button, you'll have the camcorder, there will be no slash in it, and then you will click stop video when you do not want to see your self anymore. Yes, you can. So Kathy asked, can you just plug in your headphones and not change the settings? Yes, most times you can just plug in your headphones and nothing will ever change. So use what I just showed you as the very last option. The built-in, when I'm discussing the built-in features, use that as the very last option for checking your speakers in your headphone. So similar to what we were just talking about is which camera are you using? Always opt to hope that your camera is, that your system is choosing the correct camera. So why would there be other cameras? Because some people have some magnificent setups. If you go to start video and click the up caret to the right of start video or stop video, this little screen will appear. And one point of it is select camera. Mine, I have a Mac, so it's gonna say FaceTime HD camera. But usually this is the only option. There's no other option. So you may not even have to touch this at all. And also, if people are curious about virtual backgrounds, this is the place to figure out if use your virtual backgrounds as well. This is just a quick thing. So for the computer, I know there's been like all this big talk about Zoom's virtual backgrounds, and so one thing to say is that it's only for the computer, but your computer also has to be updated. So the way you'll go about finding your virtual background is you'll go to the caret that's to the right of the video icon. Once you click that, you'll say choose virtual background, and that will send you to another screen that has all these default virtual backgrounds that you can use. So that's just a tip. Definitely try and explore that if you're on a computer or laptop or desktop. So screen layout. So some of you may only see who's talking currently, right? So there's two views. There's gallery view that you can see on the right, and then you have speaker view, which is the default that you see on the left. So speaker view is basically when whoever talks, or whoever, it's not even whoever talks, whoever's audio that the system captures at that moment, that's whose picture will be on screen. So if Melissa and I talk at the same time, whoever talks first is the screen that's going to appear. So that can be very complicated if there are a lot of people on the screen at once. And sometimes you just want to see everyone in the room and engage and see how they're reacting and things like that. And that's when you will go to gallery view. And this will show you more people on your screen. I will say for those who are on phone and tablet, you will need to swipe to see everyone who's on the screen. You'll click the gallery view, similar to, it will show up as 9 squares in a 9 squares, and then once you're in that space, you may not see everyone. Say if you're on a phone, you may not be able to see more than 3 people. So you would need to swipe to the left or swipe to the right. When I say swipe, put your finger on your phone, drag your finger to the left to see more people. If there's more people in the room, and that's the same for the tablet. And that this is mainly because your screen is not big enough to capture the full view of things. So if you have a desktop or a laptop and you're in a meeting where you would like to see everyone whose video is on, then I would always say opt for using the desktop or laptop than for using the phone or tablet. Okay, so pinning a video. So pinning a video basically allows you to, similar to like the gallery view and the speaker view, this allows you to pick people who you want to see, right? These people are interesting to you. These people aren't talking right now, but I don't want the screen to change when they do talk or if they turn off the camera or anything. So when you pin a video, you will need to hover over the person's video box, and there will be 3 dots right on the top right hand corner, similar to how it is in Melissa's box, right? And then you'll click those and click pin video. And so basically what happens is that picture, that box will stay there the entire time. It won't move. And you may ask, like, why would it move even if it's unpinned? It's because when people turn off their camera and turn it back on, the boxes change pretty frequently depending on how active people are in the chat and in the Zoom call. Okay. Sometimes there are people who are not really active in the conversation, and they may be clogging up the screen because their video's off, right? So you can hide their video, or people who you may not want to commonly see. Maybe if there's like 3 hosts, you can turn off the videos, hide the videos of all the non-hosts. And that allows you to just curate who you want to see on your screen. But yeah, these are just some extra things, and the way you'll go about it is similar to the pinning part.
Can I jump in real quick, Gisette?
Yes.
So I wanted to, because I know several people on here are hosting their own Zoom meetings. And so I just wanted to point out the difference that I just learned actually between pinning someone and spotlighting someone. So for instance, right now I have spotlighted Gisette. And that's because she's a speaker. I want everyone to see her, and I'm recording this. And so it's only going to record her because I've spotlighted her, as well as the screen. And you can only do that if you're a host and there's more than 3 people in the meeting. So my understanding is you can pin someone anytime, and that just changes your view. And if you are the host, you also have the option to spotlight someone, which then will make that change everyone else's view as well and influence the recording. So just wanted to throw that out there.
So some engaging features is the chat feature. So this basically allows you to send a message to everyone. If someone is talking, like say that I'm talking and you don't want to interrupt, or someone else, and you have a question or a comment, the chat feature allows you to go ahead and let that out, or explain it, or say something while the person is still talking. There's also a private chat portion where you can just, instead of you'll click 2 at the bottom. There's a blue bar that you'll click 2, and you can change that by clicking the specific person you want to send the message to. So raise hand, I kind of talked about that a little bit. This feature basically allows you to show that that you're ready to say something, right? If you're on an iPad, this is the general, let me bring my pointer out. Pointer, okay. This is the general form of the call, right? So you have your interaction bar at the top. Something I really haven't talked about is leave. So this button is usually at the bottom right for me, but it's in the top left for you. So with this button, it allows you to leave, but if you're the host of a meeting, it may say leave all, or just leave. So if it says end meeting for all, if the meeting is completely done, then you want to click end meeting for all. If it doesn't, if you are just leaving because time got out of hand and you need to go, just click leave. A box will appear that says end meeting for all, or just leave. And then you can leave, and it will assign a host to someone else. So that's just something to know about. You're not ending the entire meeting for everyone. So your mute button is not in your bottom left. So look for icons at this point. So for iPads, look for the mute button, the stop button, and participants. Those are all at the top of your screen. Switch camera. This just tells you to turn your use your back camera or your front camera. So if you're showing the people on the other side of your screen, you would want to use your back camera. But if you want to just show yourself in the that's hard to explain. If you just want to show the front screen, use the front camera. I would say that's default. Just default to the front camera. And then switch to gallery view. This allows you to switch between the gallery view and the the speaker view. So if you click participants, there will be something that appears that says raise hand, mute, or rename. So you can rename yourself if your name is not correct, and also you can raise your hand. So this raising hand feature allows someone, most likely the host, to know that you want to say something. You'll click more, and these are 2 reactions. You can clap if you're if someone's finished talking. You can click this and it'll just appear on your screen. It will not make any noise. Or you can do a thumbs up. And these are the iPhone views. So if you're driving and you're on Zoom, it's just gonna automatically turn the video off and allow you to just and it's also gonna automatically mute you if you tell them that you're driving, right? So if you want to speak, you can just tap this circle to speak. But in a regular view for the phone, it's going to show up similar to the computer, but minimized, right? The microphone, the stop buttons, participant are all in the same areas. It's the bottom part of the screen, but you also have a button for the volume to turn up your speaker volume, and also switch cameras, and that's towards at the top of the screen. Where's leave meeting? Okay, and leave meeting is also at the top of the screen. Sorry, I had it covered.